Now to my next guest, who's well known to Sky News viewers. She's been a warrior for some of the most disempowered women in the world. Masih Alinejad has spearheaded the campaign against Iran's compulsory hijab laws, and her activism has seen her and her family targeted by that country's Islamist regime. Even in New York, Masih is not safe. Last year, the FBI foiled a kidnap plot from the Islamic Republic, and just a few days ago, her life was again threatened after a man with an AK-47 style assault rifle was arrested near her home in Brooklyn. One wonders whether Iran feels so emboldened under the Biden administration that they would try these criminal antics on US soil. Joining me now from New York is Masih Alinejad. Masih, thank you for your time. What can you tell me about this latest terrifying incident? Has the man arrested got any known ties to the Iranian regime?
Look, first of all, I have to say that this is very, very frightening and shocking that it has been twice that I'm being targeted on U.S. soil. Jake Sullivan, actually, when he called me, he said that this is a call from President Biden, and he mentioned Iran. So that actually shows you that White House knows that I'm being targeted for the second time from the Iranian regime. And this time, the FBI arrested a man with a loaded gun in his car in front of my house. Last year, when the FBI stopped the kidnapping plot, I thought, finally, I'm going to be safe and I can practice my freedom of speech on U.S. soil. But this time, I think the Iranian regime, they are frustrated by the bravery of Iranian women within the society. And my crime is just giving voice to them. So that's why they want to get rid of me.
Now, you mentioned Jake Sullivan. He is President Biden's national security advisor, and he's confirmed he's been in contact with you, he's expressed concern about your safety, and he's also assured you that the White House is going to use every tool to disrupt and deter threats from Iran. Do you feel the Biden administration, which has in the past been accused of not taking these threats seriously, has changed its attitude to this issue?
To be honest, the way that Jake Sullivan talked to me, I thought they are more serious this time, because he actually warned me that, we understand the threat clearly, and we cannot accept that happen to U.S. citizens anymore. And I was very clear as well. And I said that, look, if President Biden was strong enough for the first time, I don't think that the Iranian regime wouldn't feel that self-confident to hire a man to kill me on U.S. soil. So for me, I said that I want to meet with President Biden personally and let him know that when he buried human rights on their nuclear deal, this is going to happen. It's not about me. Just imagine if the man had opened fire, who knows how many of my neighbors would have been killed in Brooklyn in front of my house. So this is about American citizens. The Iranian regime challenged U.S. authorities twice on U.S. soil. When they see that they're not going to be punished, then there is no reason for them to stop their terrorism on U.S. soil. For me, this is scary that this is happening in front of the eyes of free world, and the world is keen to get a deal without actually being concerned that rewarding terrorists, it's going to actually allow them to target more citizens in Europe, in America.
Yes, and we know there's European nations and also the Biden White House are keen to restart that Iran deal, and Iran feels, I guess, in a sound position right now. And your fight for the women in Iran continues. It's more important than ever. Tell me about what's happened in just recent days. A number of women arrested were forced to denounce their anti-hijab stance on state television in Iran.
Thank you so much for asking, because for many media in the world, it's just not, I don't know, it's not important to talk about this woman. I want to actually show you and your audiences. Her face. Her face is it shows you that being tortured. Her name is Sepide Rashno. She was one of the brave women. She is now the hero of Iranian women, peacefully protesting against compulsory hijab. She was being harassed by an undercover agent in the bus. And she just filmed her, and she said that I'm going to send this film to the rest of the world. Now she's being beaten up, and she was forced to do false confession. She was forced to denounce herself on Iranian state television and to denounce me as well. She is my hero, and she's not alone. There are many other activists who say no to forced hijab, are in prison, but the rest of the world say nothing about them. My question is so clear. If it was Muslim women being forced to do false confession, being beaten up, being tortured, being actually like harassed in the street to remove their hijab, what would have been the reaction of the rest of the world? What would have been the reaction of international media? Right now, silence. I want to show you another picture. This is a mother whose son was killed in front of her eyes. Her name is Nahid Shirpishe. Can you believe that now she's in prison and she got beaten up by security forces just because of asking for justice? Rita, that breaks my heart. That the whole world now are desperate to get a nuclear deal, and they don't talk about this mother. They don't talk about Iranian women being beaten up. Iranian people are brave enough, and I'm sure one day they're gonna get rid of dictatorship. But the history will judge all those democratic countries who keep silent. When I see around the world that I see, all the dictators from Russia, China, Venezuela, Iran, they're being united. They're more united than democratic countries. Right now that I'm talking to you, US citizens, British citizens, German citizens, Swedish citizens, they are in prison and being used by Iranian regime like bargaining chip to have a deal. And now Belgium, the
we
government
saw
from
that
Belgium
ourselves, Masih. We had an Australian, a Melbourne woman, an academic, used in that same way. Thank God she's home now. But your work is so crucial. You highlight these injustices. You give a voice to these voiceless women. So you are welcome on this program whenever you like, because what you're doing is absolutely crucial. Masih, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Every single word that I say here in your show or everywhere, I don't know what's going to happen to me and my family, but I'm not going to give up.